that mention your name?
Covering news and politics for 10 years, there really isn't a whole lot that stuns me anymore. But there is this email from the Jeffrey Epstein files that is really making me wonder, who is Bubba and what did Trump do to Bubba? So I'm going to get to that email, including a response from one of the individuals in that email chain, which makes me think there's actually more to this than people might think. So let me first start with what's gone on up to this point, and that is the fact that 20,000 pages of documents from the Epstein files have been released. Emails including a message which Epstein asserts Donald Trump, quote, knew about the girls, which CNN appears to think is a reference to Trump's claim that he kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club for poaching young women who worked there, or it could just mean that Trump knew what Epstein was doing. Epstein also wrote, quote, I know how dirty Donald is. Also, in another of the messages from 2011, Epstein told his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, that Trump is the, quote, dog that hasn't barked because he'd spent time with someone whose name is redacted as victim. So CNN reviewed thousands of pages where they say Epstein repeatedly invoked Trump, sometimes to offer analysis of his behavior, sometimes to gossip, and sometimes simply to position himself as someone with rare insight into the man who had become president. That gets to this. Internet erupts over Mark Epstein email on Trump, Putin, and Bubba. So Mark Epstein is Jeffrey Epstein's brother. Here is the email that is quite something. So, of course, the email chain I'll read in a reverse order here, but Mark writes, how are you doing? A while back, you mentioned that you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? What is your boy Donald up to now? Epstein responds, saying, all good. Bannon with me. His brother Mark responds, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Let me stop there. What photos? Who's Bubba? And Trump blew him? Now, where do I go from here? Some may think, hey, he's joking about something, just making a joke. But he's writing this as if there are actual photos, the photos. Like the part that maybe, if there's a joke here, maybe the joke is, oh, does Putin have those photos? But the photos appear to exist in this. It's not like there's something to this comment. There is something behind this. Joke or not, there is something to this. What are these photos? Who is Bubba? Why did Trump blow him? And the response from Jeffrey Epstein says, and I thought I had, this is apparently a Yiddish word for issues. So I thought I had issues. Then Mark replies saying, you and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. I don't know what else to say to that. You mean Donnie T? I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes. Okay. Who is Bubba? So the speculation initially was the fact that Bubba is a nickname for Bill Clinton. But Newsweek spoke to Mark Epstein, who told them that the individual was not Clinton, but he did not provide any additional details about the identity of Bubba or the meaning of the emails, which has me thinking there is more to this. This is not a simple joke, a meaningless joke about whatever, about nothing. No, there's clearly something else here. Bubba is clearly someone. If it's not Clinton, who is it? And why won't you give any more details about what those emails meant? About what photos you're referring to? I gotta say, out of anything with Trump, this is maybe the most stunning, because I did not take him for somebody who'd be blowing a guy named Bubba. But here we are. So people had fun with the idea that maybe it was Clinton. Robert writing here, what masks do we think they wore to the Eyes Wide Shut party with this interesting photo of Trump and Clinton? Carly Kingsley sharing this. old tweet from Trump with a caption, well, that's awkward. If Hillary Clinton can't satisfy her husband, what makes her think she can satisfy America? Trump crashing out on Truth Social this morning over the release of these emails. Now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try and deflect from their disastrous shutdown and all of their other failures, I'll be asking Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, JP Morgan Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam with all arrows pointing to the Democrats. Records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein and on his island. Stay tuned. So, just to summarize here, it's a hoax, but also the records show the records of this hoax show that Epstein had many connections with these people. Which is it? Is it a hoax, or are they records that you should be looking into? What you can't seem to decide what you want this to be. And of course, when he's directly asked about it, no comments, does not want to get into it at all. And even before this, months ago, there's questions about these files. And he's asked, are people still talking about this? Do people still care about this? Yes, they do, because clearly your relationship with him was one that was deep and long over decades. There's clearly a lot to this and your relationship and what you knew. Like the photos, the videos. This isn't even the oldest one. There's videos from the 90s, early 90s of him and Epstein at parties together. So clearly there's a lot more there. Adam Cochran also sharing this. Months before his death, Epstein said in an email he was, quote, the only one who could take down Trump. Then he died in custody while the cameras were dark. People should be reminded, especially Trump supporters. This happened in 2018 when Trump was president. Like, doesn't that make you question things? Maybe your dear leader was aware of things and what happened? Good Lord. Quote, he's a lot of fun to be with, Trump said of Epstein in a 2002 magazine profile. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. There's quote after quote. There's quote of Epstein saying him and Trump were best friends at one point. Like their relationship is well documented even before these newer files were released. And on top of that, of course, there's a long list of sexual misconduct allegations against Donald Trump. This is from a year ago from The Guardian, and this is right before the election this article came out. And just a few days later, Axios released this report of the 27th woman to accuse Trump of sexual misconduct, days before Trump went on to win, showing you how Teflon Don he is. None of this impacted him in any way. That said, who's Bubba? What'd you do with Bubba? Why did you do that to Bubba? And are these photos out there? Who has these photos? Are people maybe using the photos as a way to blackmail or control Trump in any way? I don't know. I'm asking questions because there is a lot that needs to be answered. I'd like to hear your thoughts below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe and check out some of the other videos I have on this channel.